Superstar Kendry Paez could he be coming to Chelsea sooner than we expected? This is very, very exciting. The young Ecuadorian teenager scored a banger the other day. I'm sure you've all seen on social media. We're going to talk about him in a moment. That's very, very interesting indeed. Also, Aaron Ramsdale to Chelsea. Arsenal's no longer wanted goalkeeper, apparently. Could he go to Chelsea? We'll read an article on the Express talking about that. And maybe if we have time, we'll do some Conor Gallagher chat about what's going to happen with him. Article on football.london. Chelsea's unsung hero makes Todd Boehly's first transfer decision a lot easier. Dun, 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 dun. So, welcome to Football Therapy. Thank you for joining me. We'll get into the news today. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that I've poured myself some more yerba mate out of the gourd. It looks kind of rank, I'll grant you that, but I really am getting into it. See how long that lasts. So, we'll talk about, we'll start with Aaron Ramsdale. We'll move on to the exciting Kendry Paez potential news. And yes, I'm sure you've watched this kid online. He's like a sensational superstar. And he's coming to Chelsea. Like everyone, any team in the world right now, if they said you had the chance to sign him, they would want them. Like, this is like, I was going to say Kendrick Lamar, Endrick, who Real Madrid like sewn up, haven't they? 60 million euros, by the way, for a 15-year-old or 16-year-old, however much he was. That is wild. He's similar deal with Kendry Paez, but we spent like a third of that, if less. No, 10 million. A sixth of that on Paez, who's an incredible, like, super exciting talent. I think that 10 million euros can turn to 20 million euros with add-ons, but we'll see what happens there. We'll get onto that. Keep yourself strapped in. Let's start with the goalkeeping situation. Okay, I'm doing everything wrong. I'm going to keep going. Take a deep breath. Let's see what's going on with the goalkeeping situation. There we go. That's the right trigger. Transition. All right, then. The Express writes, Chelsea will reportedly find it tough to seal a January transfer for Arsenal goalkeeper Ramsdale. The Blues have been linked to the England shot stopper in recent weeks, with Mauricio Pochettino expected, spat on the mic there, to replace Robert Sanchez in the near future. He's expected, is he? Interesting. I know he's been a hot topic at the moment because of, I've done it to death, I'm not going to go back on that game, the Arsenal game, and, I want to make myself clear. He hasn't been awful for Chelsea, he's had excellent moments, Rob Sanchez, but I have reservations of his long-term future and potential as Chelsea's number one. Chelsea raised eyebrows in the summer, bringing in the Spaniard from Brighton, installing him as their number one after exits were sanctioned for Mendy and Kepa. Mendy was always going to go, he'd dropped off, Saudi Arabia's good big money move for him. Now, Kepa's an interesting one. I do believe Kepa was going to be Chelsea's number one. I think Pochettino likes him. I think his goalkeeping coach, Pochettino's one, was like, yeah, we can work with Kepa, he'll be okay. But I'm going to speculate with half of this stuff. So the speculation is that when the club, as in the Chelsea's ownership, the new sporting directors, caught wind that there's a big appetite for Kepa, a player that has had his value as an asset depreciate massively at his time at Chelsea. And there's massive wages for a goalkeeper. And they thought, this guy isn't like an Eden Hazard to us. And if we can, get him to a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid, who are apparently both fighting for a signature, as a business, we think this is a really good decision. That's not me reporting news. This is speculation. An educated guess. And also, from Kepa Arrizabalaga's point of view, yes, he had a good season last season, and he was like a little bit like, he liked to mention it whenever he could. Yes, we get it, mate. You did all right in goal. We finished 12th, or however we finished. Stop giving it the big one. We don't want to hear it. But he probably thought, I'm 28 years old. I want to get back in the Spain squad. I know I've played well this season. Chelsea, as much as I'm thankful for my time here, we finished 12th. There's a lot going on here, a lot of transition. And Bayern Munich and Real Madrid want me, who won't finish 12th. And I understand as soon as Real Madrid came along, he was like, get me there. And I get it. He's a Spanish international. He probably knows that he suits the football better out there. And it's just, you're a Spain international, you get to play for Real Madrid. No issues. Off he went, he's there right now. So Kepa, I kind of get Kepa wanting it, but I'm speculating also that the owners of Chelsea saw a business opportunity to get him playing a whole season as Real Madrid's number one. That's perfect for, that is going to raise his value a lot more than being part of a rebuild at Chelsea. And they've probably thought, well, there's value in someone like a £20 million Sanchez who could probably do a job. But what I'm saying is the crux of this is that I think this wasn't Pochettino's plan. This wasn't the coaching staff's plan. And Pochettino also came out and said some stuff early doors this season in presses of like, if you don't want to be here, do one. And I think he was talking about Kepa. Obviously, I'm, paraphrasing there. I think he was talking about Kepa. Sanchez has made a solid, I'm going back to the article now, solid enough start to his Stamford Bridge career. Yeah, keeping 4 clean sheets from 11 games. Okay. However, rumours linking Chelsea to other goalkeepers have already begun to spread before Sanchez's display, before the Arsenal game, essentially. So this isn't a result from the Arsenal. Awful performance from the goalkeeper. It was a bad all-round game from him. I'm not going to go over that ground again. Ramsdale's name was first mentioned a while back after summer signing David Raya, of course, usurped him at Arsenal. The 25-year-old, who withdrew from the squad to face Chelsea at the weekend following the birth of his son, has not played in the Premier League since the 3-1 victory over United. Yeah, you're in a 3-1 victory and you get chucked out. Raya has left the door open, of course, for people to get Ramsdale. That would not help Chelsea's chances. Nervy performances, Raya. Raya's nervy performances against City and Chelsea. This will not have helped Chelsea's chances, as Ramsdale will unlikely be considering his options and still in the picture of Mikel Arteta. According to Cy Phillips, who we'll reference again in a moment, Ramsdale would need to push for a move to Chelsea to stand any chance of signing him. Ramsdale, look, in my head, I'm thinking, wow, he's still quite young. He's obviously a very strong personality. He's a bit of a see you next Tuesday, but sometimes if he's in your team, that works. And then what if he, joins Chelsea, becomes, Pochettino is a good coach for goalkeepers, or his, Perez is a goalkeeping coach who's very good. Like, Hugo Lloris was very good for a long, long time. Maybe he becomes England's number one. Chelsea's goalkeeper, England international, surely should be England's number one over Everton's goalkeeper. Right? That's how it works. Well, maybe not when Southgate's in charge, but you know what I mean. But I don't know, man. Is it an opportunity because he's been bombed out by Arteta? He's a good goalkeeper. You can get him at value. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I am not particularly turned on by the idea of signing Aaron Ramsdale. Let's talk about Kendry Paez, though. So, on Chelsea Chronicle, it's referencing Cy Phillips' Substack, who was speaking to Ben Jacobs, or the CBS reporter, of course, or referencing Ben Jacobs, saying about Kendry Paez could be set for some time with the Chelsea first team before he can officially join the club. So, he could be integrated into the club's next pre-season campaign, which would be massive. That's months away. That is months away. And we feel like we were not going to see Kendry Paez for a long, long time. Now, he can't officially play for Chelsea until he's 18. But if he's allowed to join the and this is, I'm not saying this, Ben Jacobs is saying this. So he's a reliable, trustworthy source. So, look, Kendry Paez, of course, Ecuadorian superstar. He's a young teenager. He's, 16 years old at the moment. He's 16. He turned 16 in May, so he's 16 in a few months. He will turn, 18 odd months. He turns 18. And that is when he can play as Chelsea's player. Now, because he's so good, he's he's starting for the Ecuadorian first team as a 15-year-old. He links up with Moises Caicedo very well. And he's scoring wonder goals for his club, as well as breaking records scoring for Ecuador. Amazing high-profile player that everyone's already talking about, and he's such a young player. But I joked about this before, but by the time this kid is 18, which is 18 months from now, because he's just constantly breaking records every few months, in 18 months, he'll be a seasoned veteran Lionel Messi type player. So why not slam dunk him straight into the Chelsea first team? Especially if he's already had that, time to get acclimatized with Chelsea. So I wonder how that would work, right? So he would, I guess, have a pre-season with Chelsea, go back to Ecuador. Would he live in London and get acquainted and settled in London with his family? And then when he has his 18th birthday, he's like, I'm here, let's go, score some goals, baby. Maybe, right? Maybe. Very, very exciting indeed. Look, we're all desperate to see this kid. It is official. Chelsea have signed, opponent got a contractual agreement in place that as soon as this guy's 18, he will have signed that professional contract. But clearly Ben Jacobs seems to think that he can run around in a Chelsea kit in pre-season, because that would be terribly exciting. Talk about media snapshots to get the juices flowing of us Chelsea fans, seeing him, running around with the other Chelsea superstars, and very, very exciting indeed. Let me know what you think, but I would love to see that. And as time goes very quickly, so as time goes on, as soon as this kid's playing for Chelsea, it'd be very, very exciting indeed. Right, let's speak about Conor Gallagher, because Bobby Vincent's been writing about him on Football.London, and he's been such an integral, important figure in Pochettino's Chelsea. Unsurprising to a degree, because everyone's like, well, he's a Pochettino-style player. Loves the club, he's dogged, he works hard, he's got some skill, he's positionally versatile, he's always available, and the best ability is availability. And and it kind of makes sense. So we're going to jump into this article and see what's being said. Chelsea's unsung hero makes Todd Boehly's first January transfer decision a lot easier at the start of the season. If you had said 11 games into the campaign that Conor Gallagher will have played 87.9% of the total minutes for Chelsea, so essentially 88%, people probably wouldn't have believed you. But that is the case, with the 23-year-old recording 966 minutes out of a possible 1,099. In all comps this term. Gallagher's importance and significance to the team has never been higher, and that is testament to how well he has done under Mauricio Pochettino. The England international was is not the most glamorous of players, granted, but the work he puts in for the team cannot be underestimated. Yeah. The Blues midfielder has also shown he can be relied on as a temporary captain in the absence, of course, James and Chilwell. Although with the former set to return to the lineup at the weekend, the armband could go straight to the right back, Reece James. Gallagher's numbers thus far this season make for great reading. Well, let's find out. With 2 assists to his name in the Premier League, both in the last couple of matches against Burnley and Arsenal, Gallagher is the only central midfielder player to set up one of his teammates this term. Wow. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, while having different functions in the setup, are yet to record an assist. You would kind of imagine that Enzo is that player to get assists. I know can put a tackle in, and he's still got that South American grit to stop transitions or stuff like that, but he's a pass master. You can imagine eventually he will get those assists. Gallagher, perhaps surprisingly, also has a higher pass percentage than Enzo Fernandez. Right, pause. It's incremental, it's by 1% or just over 1%. But that does blow your mind, how he's got a higher pass percentage than Enzo Fernandez. Because Conor Gallagher is you think of him running around, just pressing like crazy, throwing in tackles I love Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing it for the badge, tackle, run, press. That's probably doing him a great disservice. He's very tactically intelligent. And he's got a better pass percentage success, passing success percentage. Jesus, why is that melting my brain? Then Enzo Fernandez, which is just incredible. And defensively, Gallagher's numbers are better than Enzo and Caicedo as well. This is blowing my fragile little mind. The Cobham graduate has completed 27 tackles, which is just one less than Enzo and Caicedo combined. Oh my giddy aunt. They've got 14 each. So he's got one less than both of them combined together, with 12 of Gallagher's coming in the defensive third. Gallagher has also had a significant more amount of interceptions this season, with 16 already, compared to Enzo's 4 and Caicedo's 3. This is mind-blowing stats here. A lot of credit has to go to Gallagher, of course, but once again, it can be said for Pochettino's role in the resurgence of Gallagher at Stamford Bridge. The Argentine has been lauded for his man management skills ever since his time at Southampton, of course, and the early days of his tenure at Chelsea. It's clear to see with a few players, including Gallagher, it's working. Of course, you could also say a great example would be Mykhailo Mudryk. This goes on to talk about some positive quotes from Conor Gallagher feeling good at Chelsea, but man, that is mind-blowing stuff, those statistics. How he's just better in every single way. Look, okay, hold on. He's playing that role, so he's going to be asked to move around and intercept. Caicedo might be asked to work a little bit more zonally and read the game and be more of a stopper, CDM, block passing. Because remember, even when you're not making tackles and you're not interceptions, if you're in the right place, you're doing like a defensively good thing. Do you know what I mean? If you're blocking a passing lane, the opposition player cannot pass to his recipient, so he doesn't try. And you don't get an interception or a tackle or a block for that, but you are being a good central defensive midfielder. So maybe that's kind of stuff you see Caicedo doing, because he's been, him sitting as a lone stopper has been immense for us in terms of the balance in our midfield. But those are some incredible stats for Conor Gallagher indeed. Let me know what you think. Incredible scenes, really. How do you feel about Conor Gallagher and those stats and his role in the team? Talk to me about Kendry Paez and all that jazz. Thank you once again for joining me. I hope to see you back here very soon, man. And keep it locked. Peace.